Really. I have a regret. I have a major regret that the 12s weren't here to see that one, as well as all these other games that have been here in this season. It's so regrettable that you haven't been able to enjoy it, because you guys never would have gone home tonight. So just speaking to our fans, I hope you had a ball, with it at home and where you're doing it, and I hope you guys believe like our guys believe. That was an amazing game tonight, and it was hard and tough and started so poorly, but at halftime, I mean, obviously you saw what happened right as we came out. At halftime, our guys were clear that we could score a bunch of points and we could stop them, and all of a sudden the avalanche just hit, and we got the ball away from them a couple times. We stopped them on 3 and out, and the offense just rock and rolled, and unfortunately they did a nice job, and they got back ahead and gave our offense a chance to do it. And I can't express to people out there what it feels like when we're going on the field, even though it was 94 yards away in a minute 25 or whatever it was, and a timeout. It didn't matter, You give Russ 4 downs, and he's going to find a way to make a first down. And he's got some drama in him now. The 4th and 10 was huge, obviously, and then coming through on 4th down to win it with DK. But so many cool things happen, and again, as we're not playing the way we want to play on defense the whole game, but we make plays when we have to make them, and we make the stops when we have to make the stops, and they come up and they rise up, and it's a marvelous character that's going on with these guys, and we're having a blast. We're just getting started. This season's 1,000,000 miles long here, but back in the old days at Trojan Land, all you ever wanted to be was undefeated at the bye, and so. That still holds true. It's a great feeling. So we're going to take a little break and come back and try to get stronger.
Michael Sean Dugar.
Hey, Pete, what about DK's mental makeup makes him able to, thrive in the moments like he did today?
It's been about hard work, commitment to getting right so that he can have the confidence that it takes to make those kinds of plays. He totally believes in himself, and he's building up a reservoir of reasons why he should, and he continues to make things happen. He's got a great partner in Russ who believes in him and trusts him, which also adds. I mean, we all need to be supported, and DK's getting a lot of support from us because we know how good he is too, and so as he continues to log these experiences and put them in his back pocket, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. He's just going to keep getting better. That was a marvelous game for him tonight.
Thanks.
Art Teal.
Pete, in the final timeout, can you describe a little bit about what was going on, the dialogue between you and Shadi and Russ about the final option?
Talking about the last drive?
Yes. Or on the final play.
Well, I'll tell you, honestly, going through the whole drive, it was just so poised. The players were poised, the coaches were poised. We talked through every single instance that was happening there, measured where we were doing with our timeouts, and I mean, we've just been through this so much that we really have a nice mentality about it. So when it gets all the way down to, we think we score on 3rd down, win the game, and then we don't, and then we got, to make it a little more dramatic, we got to go to 4th down. But Shadi called things that he knew Russ knew really well, that he trusted, that we've seen 1,000,000 times, and so Russ would be able to exercise the options based on whatever they tried to play in that situation. We called timeout to just take another look at him and gave Russ a little bit more time to clear his head and think, make sure he was clear on it, and he throws a freaking strike to win a football game. Marvelous finish.
John Boyle.
Yeah, the Vikings obviously were doing some good things on defense to not make it easy on you guys. But what is it about Russ that, maybe for 3+ quarters they're getting to him, but then game's on the line, 2 minutes left, and there he goes.
Somebody told me he's got 34 fourth quarter comebacks. This was the 34th, and there's just so much character that it goes into being able to have that much poise, to be that clear, to function like that so beautifully throughout, those opportunities that, he's just as good as you can get. I don't know how anybody could ever be better than what he continues to show us in those situations. He's as good as you can get.
Curtis Crabtree.
Yeah, Pete, you guys have been so good with the run defense through the first 4 games, and they got you pretty good tonight, I think, for 201 or so. And what was it that Dalvin and Madison were able to do against you? And then to have to stop them with a half yard to go there to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it? We didn't play things as cleanly as we need to. They were running, plays that we had practiced and all that, but we got blocked. And unfortunately, we weren't able to, to fit them up right. And so we're usually really good at that stuff. And then tonight we had some problems and some issues. And so that's basically what it was.
Larry Stone.
Hey, Pete. You spoke of the belief that this team has. Does that just come from having succeeded in these kinds of situations so many times? Does it just grow upon itself?
Wow. No, that's not what it is. That's just one element of all of the complexities that go into getting to the point where guys know why they trust in themselves and the guys around them and being able to answer the call of the situations and all that. There's a ton that goes into that. And there's so many moving parts and so many functioning aspects of it that they need to have a shared clarity, of how we're doing it and how we're getting it done. We went in at halftime and I reminded them in camp of the day that we stopped practice because we weren't as clean as we needed to be. And we talked about there's going to be a halftime come up here where we're going to be behind. We won't have not done anything in the first half, and we're going to turn the thing right around in time and patiently go through the steps it takes to come back in a game. And so it was, we've already practiced that. And so when that happened today and we go through it, I'm trying to convince them not to try to get back in too fast. And we got to be patient. And so we went out and scored 3 touchdowns in a minute 50. So it didn't quite follow the direction of that, but the mentality that it takes is something that it's a discipline that takes a long time to develop, and it really helps to have success. You have to build on the successes, and obviously with 34 comebacks, we got a lot of practice at this stuff, and these games are crazy, man. It's really something. What was the final score anyway? I don't even know. By 1. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Greg Bell.
Greg, you're up.
Pete, how empowering is it for not just the offense, but the defense too, knowing Wilson and his history and his comebacks and his poise, that if they make a play there, they'll win the game, that they have the confidence in their quarterback? It seems to carry the entire team, not just the offense in those situations.
Right. That's in part to the answer to the last question. A lot goes into this, and they have to feed off of one another and support one another in the ways that, and that comes from a really deep-seated belief that you can get it done. I mean, you watch them go down the field on us. Why would we think we could stop them on 4th down? But we did, and stopped them 3rd down and 4th down there. And that's the resilience that it takes to come through in situations like that comes from somewhere. It comes from belief that you're going to be able to get it done. And if you don't feel like that, then, you relent. And that's not what these guys are about, and it's really exciting. It's a really fun thing to watch happen. A bunch of young guys putting it together and finding themselves. And like I said to them, we're so far. We're just getting started. But it's a great start, and we're excited about that. But we have so much to do that this is just this time out.
The corollary to that is Benson Mayo, Pete, what you've gotten from him. I mean, another huge night tonight.
Yeah, he continues to make things happen in a special way. He forced two turnovers last week. He hit the quarterback both times on picks, and it gets, because it was such a slight effect he had on him, but it was what was necessary. And again tonight, he finds a way, and yeah, he's doing a great job. He's so happy to be back here and with us and all that. It's really fun to see him enjoy it and then come through and help the cause, and he's been a real mainstay so far.
Jackie Montgomery.
Coach, that crazy final drive aside, can you talk about that minute and 53 seconds in the 3rd quarter where you guys have the 3 touchdowns and the turnovers that led to those touchdowns?
Yeah, that was thrilling, and it's reminiscent of games we've played here in the past. That not when I'm talking, I don't have to. Yeah, that's DK. it's just reminiscent of things that we've done when the kind of like the avalanche or the surge hits, and that was just what we needed at the time. I mean, sometimes you don't know where it comes from because we hadn't done much, like that. But then all of a sudden, we're cooking, and KJ's, after KJ missed a couple balls last week, that to make that catch and do the full Spider-Man thing, that he does, that was remarkable and just so classy a play. And again, he had another big night.
What was your message at halftime? Is that something that you say, or did the players kind of take it upon themselves to kind of, turn things around going into the second half?
What I told you, the very first thing we did is we gathered them all up to just set the stage for, coming back. And we have to have our minds together and everybody's on the same page. We're all clear about what we got to do and all that. And there's a patience that needs to be there. Otherwise, you can over-try and force the issues. And, you got to think you got to get it done. You can't score 13 points or 14 points the first drive. It's going to take a while. We didn't get anything on the first drive. But then once it starts happening, I want them to know that it's going to happen so they feel the success building and so that we can build on that. And all of a sudden, here they go. There's this play and that play, and things go crazy. And we're ripping up and down the field, and we're stopping them like crazy on defense. And so that's just how it happens, so.
2 more for Coach, Bob Condotta, and then we'll wrap with Brady Henderson.
Yeah, Pete, just the first half offensively, was there anything you put your finger on what was sort of the issues there, I guess?
Yeah, we had 2 big sacks, and I don't know this, but I think the 3 third downs, we had 3 drives. The 3 third downs were like 3rd and 20 or something like that. Well, okay, you're out of luck on those drives. We didn't get a chance. There was 8 minutes left in the second quarter when we started our second drive of the game because of what we were doing on defense and letting them hold the football. 16 plays and 18 plays, whatever it was. So it just didn't fit together. Didn't fit right. And when I'm reminding Shadi, don't get impatient, in that first half because, you feel like you just got to try to do something, when you haven't been able to, and we just didn't get the chances. So the point was to let that go and leave that outside of us and just come on back and start over again in the second half. And there's plenty of time to score, 30 points, whatever you got to do. And so our guys found a way. Somebody made a bunch of catches, and they came through and made some big plays and got it going. I can't remember who it was. It might have been DK. What a great night, man. That was awesome. We got one more you had.
Brady.
Hey, Pete, you said before that you like winning games like this that come down to the wire and they're crazy. Why is that?
Why is that? Because it's so much freaking fun. But it's way more than that. I mean, I like to feel like I felt in that fourth quarter where I was chilled about the whole thing, and so that I can think clearly, operate well, function well for these guys, and do whatever I can contribute. And so that's to expect that those situations can arise, and so you're comfortable with the moments. Okay, that's part of it. But we're making memories, We're making memories. These are memorable situations. Okay, that's 2. Another thing is the experience that these guys have. It just fortifies why they believe. It just adds on to why they should keep hanging and fighting tough and outlast the people that we're playing. Because it's when you finish, you got to outlast the other guys, and that's what our guys understand, and they know it, and they're developing a discipline based on the experience and the confidence they're getting, because that's all we've been doing for 5 weeks now. And it's just going to make us that much stronger facing whatever the odds are, the issues are coming down the road. So this is all, it's just the process of building, the mentality of a really successful team. And so these guys are doing everything. They've got all the stories we need right now, and we'll keep building, hopefully.
Thank you.
DK, you're on. I get to introduce DK. DK Metcalf's coming up here. Had a pretty big night, looking cool in what he's wearing and all. But you got some bling on too. Anyway, take it, DK. Nice job, man.